Hey guys, this is my first tutorial, so bear with me. Um, so I thought I'd show you guys how to make the Scuff 1 bass, which is actually three different synths layered. So let's go ahead and show you what that sounds like. This is just the tracks project file. So here we go. Yeah, that's actually like my favorite riff from this whole track. I don't know why I didn't put it in there more often. Anyway, without further ado, let's go ahead, go over to this tutorial template. I'm with an extra R for some reason. And there's not too much. There's nothing really fancy here. There's a limiter on the master track, of course. A Maximus on the master track, just for a quick maximizing, and a couple of layered kicks, a snare, and a sidechain kick. So we'll go ahead, create another filter group, call it synths, and that triple synth bass, I guess, is actually 2 parts monomate, 1 part zebra. So we'll just add the first instance of monomate. We'll call it boom, because this is going to be the low end of the bass, and that I am that creative. So this, for this one, we're gonna let's see, we'll put the wave at about 1.5, the lowest octave, just it's the bass. Keep phase and pulse width down at the bottom. We're gonna put glide at about 5. Yeah, just straight up and down there. And gonna turn distortion all the way up, because that's what the cool kids do. And leave the effects alone. So we'll assign this a mixer track. And this is just kind of your typical bass. It's just, you know. But what really makes it is all the effects that you shove it through. I'm just gonna go ahead and write out that bass line. How'd that go? C4, C5, C sharp, D sharp. That's what it was. And how's that go? Do 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 do. A sharp. And this octave layering right here kind of makes use of the glide settings. For monomate, it sounds pretty cool played in unison. And A sharp, is that what it was? Yeah. Okay, let's see how this sounds. There we go. Gotta make the drums longer though. Alright, there we go. Okay, so anyway, back to the effects for this. The first thing you're going to want to do is EQ it. I like to cut the really low bass frequencies just so you don't have a lot of bass kind of muddying up the mix that you can't really hear. I also like to boost the highs, and a lot of people will tell you when you're EQing never to boost, only use EQs to cut, which makes sense, I guess. But I just don't really care, which sounds kind of bad. But the big thing for me is how it sounds ultimately, and boosting the highs kind of gives it a nice bite that I like a lot. And so I just kind of, I don't know, I stick with it. So I apologize if I'm, going against everything your mother ever taught you about producing, but bear with me. So after the EQ, we're gonna do the D blue kind of bit crushing. And if you've ever seen Ollie Nadem's hard electro bass tutorial, he uses monomate too for that one actually. But it's the exact same thing as that. You just turn this into a bit crusher, make it all 6. Turn the sample reduction all the way down and make it pretend to reduce the sample rate. That's basically what quantization is. So you turn that all the way up. And after that one, I'm going to put a limiter on this. I usually end up doing that with Monomate just because Monomate is kind of weird and freaks out and plays when it's not supposed to be playing and ends up clipping a lot. And so the limiter is just kind of one of my personal better safe than sorry things. So you don't have to, but I do anyway. Also, I'm going to put an ohm aside. And that's where most of the growl comes from on this one. This is a pretty cool distortion unit. So we're going to turn the pre-distortion to about 20 decibels, about halfway there. And we're going to turn, we're going to turn the gain down on band 1 to about -8. That's good enough. And we're going to turn the gain down on band 2 as well to about -4. Yeah, that's pretty good. Yeah, and set the pre-distortion at half. Okay, so after that, what I actually ended up doing in the Scuff project was giving this a compressor for gain reduction because it was a little too intense. I'm not going to do that yet. I'm going to see how it sounds later. But we might have to do that just because this kind of gets a little too intense. Like, it kind of drowns out the other parts of the bass. So anyway, we'll add the second instance of Monomate now. And, whoa. Fuck, wrong one. We'll add it to this one. And we'll call this one, I don't know, what should we call this one? We'll call it Growl. This is kind of the mid-range of the bass, and it kind of gives it the main sound. And your ear is actually more responsive to mid-range frequencies and high-range frequencies, which is why the mids affect the sound so much. But that's kind of like a science lesson. So anyway, for this one, we're gonna put the wave at about -3. Not 9. Let's do 3.3. And we're actually not gonna put the octave all the way down like we did last time. This one is actually in the song an octave higher than this one, and so I put it about 8.7 just to set it in the range of that second octave. We're gonna keep phase and pulse width at the bottom. We're gonna turn glide up to about 5 again, just straight up and down, and distortion all the way up again. And we're not gonna do anything to the effects. So we'll assign this one a mixer track, and this one we'll EQ that as well. Do another bass cut, and we'll just, I think I adjusted 2 a little bit, the second band, about 119 and a little, and we'll boost the highs as well. Let's see, about 75. Yeah, that works. Okay, we're also gonna do another D-Blue glitch on this one. Just the same bit crushing quantization as we did on the low Monomate. So you turn the amount all the way down, quantization all the way up. Get out of there, and we'll put another limiter on this track as well. And so that's it for the second one. And now we'll add the zebra. And this is where I got really lazy. I think I just used, yep, it was just a preset, Thick as Nick, for this one, just because I was getting pretty lazy and I like the sound, especially when I put it through some distortion. It gives it a nice high-end kind of bite. So we'll give that a mixer track, and we'll EQ this one as well. Let's see, parametric EQ, what am I doing? Okay, so this one I gave it a pretty steep cut, and I also boosted the mids as well as the highs. Can't remember exactly what, oh, I think I have this one saved as a preset. Zebra Scuff, yep. Okay, yeah. So I cut the lows a lot and left bands 2 and 3 alone, but I boosted the mid-range and as well as the high range. just to give it kind of a more defined sound. And this one I put through a camel fat distortion, and you can tell I was getting pretty lazy because I just used a preset for this as well. It's called drum lo-fi shredding. It's just kind of a lo-fi distortion preset, and I put this one through. Let me close all this. I put this one through an homicide as well, and this one had more bite to it. I turned the band 1 gain up to about 27, and we'll turn the band 2 to about 42. Yeah, that works. And so that's pretty much it for the 3 basses. Let me just copy the piano roll notes. And I put, since this is going to be the high end of the bass, I put this actually an octave higher than the low. So these are actually up an octave. And in order to sidechain all 3 of these, instead of making 3 different sidechain kicks, what I did was I sent them all to one send. So we'll call that bass. And if you're not familiar with that, this is how you do it. You go to each of the mixer tracks that you want to send to one, and you turn the send down on the master track all the way, and turn it up on the one you want it to send to. So we'll do that for this one, and we'll do that for this one. That way you can apply multiple effects and EQs. I'm just going to do another high boost just because. And you can also use a single sidechain for all 3 of them, which is what I'm going to do. I'm also going to pan these to different sides. Since these are both monomate, it makes it sound kind of clearer if this is center panned and these are panned to different sides respectively. So let's see, put that sidechain in there, link this to its peak controller, invert it. Alright, we'll see how that sounds. Perfect. And the reason why there's no reverb, they're all kind of dry, is because Homicide kind of plays havoc when you put reverb on there. But you can just mess around with it yourself. I think that's pretty much everything. The whole idea was kind of layering basses to get a different sound, and that I've found is kind of the key to making when you're trying to make a sick bass. Experiment with different synths and layer them, pan them, change the octaves, see how they work together, and run them through distortion or whatever. Basically just mess around until you find what you like. At least that works for me. So I think that's it, and I'll see you guys next time. Subscribe if you want, comment if you want. Take it easy.